The Chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. The Chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The Dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, The Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation. The Grey Wardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness and prevail. It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long. For I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all.
I have lost the spell.
How do you do?
Greetings.
How do you do?
For generations, your family, the Kuzlans, has stewarded the lands of Highever, earning the loyalty of your people with justice and temperance. When your country was occupied by the Orlesian Empire, your father and grandfather served the embattled kings of your land. Today, your elder brother takes up House Kuzlan's banner in service to the crown, not against the men of Orlais, but against the bestial darkspawn rising in the south.
I trust then that your troops will be here shortly.
I expect they will start arriving tonight, and we can march tomorrow. I apologize for the delay, my lord. This is entirely my fault.
No. The appearance of the Darkspawn in the south has us all scrambling, doesn't it? I only received the call from the king a few days ago myself. I'll send my eldest off with my men. You and I will ride tomorrow just like the old days.
True, though we both had less grey in our hair then, and we fought Orlesians, not monsters.
At least the smell will be the same. I'm sorry, Pop, I didn't see you there. Hal, you remember my son?
I see he's grown into a fine young man. Pleased to see you again, lad. My daughter Delilah asked after you. Perhaps I should bring her next time. Good. She goes on about your prowess as a warrior. I think you have an admirer, young man.
At any rate, Pop, I summoned you for a reason. While your brother and I are both away, I'm leaving you in charge of the castle. Now, that's what I'd like to hear. Only a token force is remaining here, and you must keep peace in the region. You know what they say about mice when the cat is away, yes? There's also someone you must meet. Please, show Duncan in.
It is an honor to be a guest within your hall, Tyrn Kuzland.
Your lordship, You didn't mention that a Grey Warden would be present.
Duncan arrived just recently, unannounced. Is there a problem?
Of course not. But a guest of this stature demands certain protocol. I am at a disadvantage.
We rarely have the pleasure of seeing one in person, that's true. Pup, Brother Aldous taught you who the Grey Wardens are, I hope. They are the heroes of legend, who ended the Blights and saved us all. Duncan is looking for recruits before joining us and his fellow Wardens in the south. I believe he's got his eye on Sir Gilmore.
If I might be so bold, I would suggest that your son is also an excellent candidate.
Honor though that might be, this is one of my sons we're talking about. I have not so many children that I'll gladly see them all off to battle. Unless you intend to invoke the right of conscription.
Have no fear. While we need as many good recruits as we can find, I've no intention of forcing the issue.
Pup, can you ensure that Duncan's requests are seen to while I'm gone? In the meantime, find Fergus, and tell him to lead the troops to Ostagar ahead of me. Upstairs in his chamber. Be a good lad and do as I've asked. We'll talk soon.
I'm sorry, but I believe your father wishes to talk to the Arl and myself alone. Very well. I doubt your father would mind a slight delay. Indeed. We spotted a horde assembling in the Korkari Wilds not 3 weeks ago. Luckily, King Kaelan took us at our word and marshaled Ferelden's forces quickly. The first battles have already been fought. Your father and I must move quickly. Thousands, perhaps 10,000 or more in this horde. Normally the Darkspawn stay in the deep roads. It bodes ill that so many risk the surface. Well, I understand the first battles have gone easily.
Indeed. Are the Grey Wardens sure this is a blight, and not simply some large Darkspawn raid?
No archdemon has been sighted yet, my lord. But with my entire soul, I believe this is a blight.
I wish we shared your faith. I suppose we shall see for ourselves once we arrive at the King's camp.
Of course. You are young, skilled, and obviously responsible, if your father is willing to turn his castle over to you. The Grey Wardens do not recruit simply anybody, and I intend no flattery when I say you show promise. The old treaties allow me to conscript you even against your father's wishes, but I will not do so. Our order is too small to risk animosity with Ferelden's nobility.
I'm glad I am to hear it.
It's tempting, your lordship, but I'm content to see what other candidates your castle offers. I have only found a couple of worthy candidates in my travels across Ferelden. Your father invited me here, suggesting this Sir Gilmore. If he is not suitable, I will head south and join up with the king. Not well. King Kaelan is an eager young man who has shown great wisdom in responding to the Darkspawn threat.
I've heard he's a bit enraptured with the Grey Warden legend, and that is why he caters to your order.
How? That is unworthy of you.
He only repeats what we've all heard. Whatever the king's reasons, I'll take his support. The priority is defeating the Darkspawn before they threaten all of Ferelden. Until we speak again.
Good evening, my lord.
There you are. Your mother told me the Terran had summoned you, so I didn't want to interrupt.
I fear your hound has the kitchens in uproar once again, and is threatening to leave. Your mother disagrees. She insists you collect the dog, and quickly. I'm not willing to test that. You're quite lucky to have your own Mabari warhound, you know. Smart enough not to talk, my father used to say. Of course, that means he's easily bored. Nan swears he confounds her just to amuse himself. At any rate, your mother would have me accompany you until the matter is settled, shall we? She was entertaining Lady Landra and her son when I left her. Perhaps in the atrium? Before we go, my lord, might I beg a question? I've heard from several people that a Grey Warden is here. Is that true? Then, is it also true that this Grey Warden was asking after me? Maker's breath, are you certain? Can you imagine me, a Grey Warden? It would be everything I've dreamed of. Of course, I shouldn't get ahead of myself. Pardon my outburst.
Oh, my lord, we were just, well, the treasury's safe. I'm not even sure why the Cairn stationed us here. We appreciate that, my lord. Thank you.
Not happening.
Good evening, my lord.
Get that bloody mutt out of the larder.
But, mistress, it won't let us near.
If I can't get into that larder, I'll skin both of you useless elves. I swear it.
Calm down, good woman. We've come to help.
You and you. Your bloody mongrel keeps getting into my larder. That beast should be put down. Just get him gone. I've enough to worry about with a castle full of hungry soldiers. You two, stop standing there like idiots. Get out of the way.
Oh, look at that mess. How did he even get in here? It does seem like he's trying to tell you something. Wait, did you hear that? We're going to be attacked!
Going. Point me! Saving the day. Oh, you want the duck?
Serves you right! This is like a bad adventure story! Giant rats? It's like the start of every bad adventure tale my grandfather used to tell. Your hound must have chased them in through their holes. Looks like he wasn't raiding the larder after all. Those were rats from the Kokari Wilds. Best not to tell Nan. She's upset enough as it is. But seeing as you've got your Mabari well in hand, I'll be on my way. I'm to prepare for the arrival of more of the Isle's men.
There he is, as brazen as you please, licking his chops after helping himself to the roast, no doubt. Look at him now. Snuck into my larder once again and makes off like a free thief, he does.
Oh, mistress, there are rats in the larder. Big ones.
Oh, looks like the dog killed them.
Oh, I bet that dog led those rats into there to begin with. Oh, don't even start with the sad eyes. I'm immune to your so-called charms. Here then, take these pork bits and don't say that Nan never gives you anything. Bloody dog. Thank you, my lord. Now we can get to work. That's right, you two. Quit standing about.
Hello, my dear boy. By chance, I am beginning to teach these young squires about your family's history.
Do we have to? History is boring.
Boys, you are referring to the Couslands, the very family in whose castle you live. Show some respect. I see you haven't changed. Perhaps it would benefit you to join our lesson. Wonderful. Oh, the Cousland history is long indeed. Where shall we start? Well, I'm glad some of my lessons don't disappear into that yawning chasm between your ears, young man. It seems you've already plumbed the depths of your potential, then. A pity. At any rate, your family has held the tournure of High Ever since before King Callan had united Ferelden. In fact, Tierna Elethea Cousland battled Callanhad to maintain High Ever's independence. Callanhad wished to unite Ferelden, not conquer it. After Alethea's men were defeated, Galahad asked her to swear fealty. The boulder where they held council still stands today as a memorial of that event. The Kuslands are ardent royalists now, but at that time, Galahad was unknown and considered dangerous by many. When Galahad's army reached Highever, Tierna Aletheia led the local bands against him. Obviously, Galahad won. Well, records are vague, but the Kuslands became Tierns during the Black Age. Is that familiar, child? Every day I pray to the Maker that my lessons will stick, and every day he tasks me anew. At that time, your family held only the minor title of Ban. When the werewolves reached this area, Ban Mather Kusland organized a curfew and patrols within the city. Several other local bands supported his efforts by swearing oaths of fealty, making him their Tiern. The history between the Kuslands and the House reaches back to the Orlesian occupation. During the rebellion against Orlais, several battles were fought near Highever. The port village of Harper's Ford was the Ternier's center. Its Arl was Tarleton Howe. Though nearly 90, he was still as sharp and bitter as cheap ale. Your grandfather openly supported the rebellion, but Howe sided with Orlais. Your family was forced to seize Harper's Ford before it was all over. The Howes eventually joined the rebellion, when all of Ferelden united behind King Merrick and General Loghain. Just as now we united behind Merrick's son, King Cailan, to fight the Darkspawn. Thank you for indulging an old man.
Oh, does that mean we have to listen to you now?
Silence! I will not have you two becoming smart-mouthed hooligans. Perhaps you should go. I doubt they need any more distraction. I'm just going to settle in here and apparently just talk to myself for all the good I'm doing. Damn myself all this while you do this.
Good evening, my lord.
And my dear Bryce bought this back from Orlais last year. The Marquis who gave it to him was drunk, I understand, and mistook Bryce for the king. Ah, here is my younger son. I take it by the presence of that troublesome hound of yours that the situation in the kitchen is handled. You've always had a way with her. Darling, you remember Lady Landra, Ban Lawrence's wife?
I think we last met at your mother's spring salon. You're too kind, dear boy. Didn't I spend half the salon shamelessly flirting with you?
Right in front of your family, too.
You remember my son, Dyron. I believe you two sparred in the last tourney.
And you beat me handily, as I recall. It's good to see you again, my lord.
And this is my lady-in-waiting, Iona. Do say something, dear.
It is a great honor, my lord. I have heard many wonderful things about you.
Don't look now, Eleanor. But I believe the girl has a crush on your lad.
Lady Landra!
Hush, Landra. You'll turn the poor thing scarlet.
As it pleases you, my lord.
I think perhaps I shall rest now, my dear. Dyron, I will see you and Iona at supper.
Perhaps we'll retire to the study for now.
Good evening, your lordship.
You should say goodbye to Fergus while you have the chance. Yes, your father mentioned that. You haven't got it into your head that you want to be recruited. There's enough here at the castle to occupy you. I don't need you off chasing danger like your brother. If he's not out with his men, probably upstairs with Oriana. As do I. Your father and brother are marching off to fight Maker knows what. All the assurances in the world don't comfort me. But it wouldn't help for us to take up arms and follow. Fergus and your father have their duty, and we have ours. For a few days. Then I'll travel with Lady Landra to her estate, and keep her company for a time. Your father thinks my presence here might undermine your authority. Don't worry, my dear. It won't be long. I know it's difficult to stay in the castle and watch others ride off, but we must see to our duties first. You understand that, don't you? Trust me, you'll get your chance for excitement soon enough. If he's not out with his men, probably upstairs with Oriana. I love you, my darling boy. You know that, don't you? Go do what you must, then. I will see you soon.
That is a wonderful dog. He seems very noble and intelligent. Greetings once again, my lord. My lord is very kind. Thank you. Lady Landra has been very good to me. I am lucky. If I may, your mother has no ladies-in-waiting herself. Is that usual for a noblewoman of her rank? You are very kind, my lord. I'm nobody special. You make me blush. My family has been in service to hers for many years. Lady Landra elevated my place as a reward for our loyalty. I hope this position might pass to my daughter. Forgive me, I shouldn't have mentioned her. She does. Many people say she looks a great deal like me. I'm the only one who sees her father in her. Lady Landra is good to her elven servants. That is not true in many households, but I hear it is in yours. It speaks well of your father to show such compassion. I am an open book, my lord. What would you like to know? Lady Landra's manor is not half so large as your castle, so my family lives in the alienage. There, we do not stand out quite so much. In an alienage, my daughter learns what it means to be elven. As much as possible, so much of our history has been lost. No longer. I have little time for such things. You flatter me, my lord. I am not so pretty that suitors are lining up, if that's what you mean. That is an awkward question. What do you mean? Some humans, yes, without question. Of course. Aren't we doing just that? What else did you have in mind? I see. I think I might like that. If I come to your door once everyone is asleep, would that be agreeable, my lord? Until tonight, then.
Good evening, my lord.
Are you daft? Don't think so.
Is there really going to be a war, Papa? Will you bring me back a sword?
That sword, Oren, and I'll get you the mightiest one I can find, I promise. I'll be back before you know it.
I wish victory was indeed so certain. My heart is disquiet.
Don't frighten the boy, love. I speak the truth. And here's my little brother to see me off. Now dry your eyes, love, and wish me well.
He is as mortal as anyone, despite his refusal to believe.
Now, love, no need to be grim. I wish you could come. It'll be tiring killing all those darkspawn myself.
Surely your father would not place both his heirs in danger?
Mother and father have been fighting about it for days. It's too bad. I could have used you at my side. If it's any consolation, I'm sure I'll freeze in the southern rain and be completely jealous of you up here, warm and safe.
I am positively thrilled that you will be so miserable, husband.
Really? Was he riding a griffin?
Shh, Oren. Griffins only exist in stories now.
I'd heard that. Did he say why he's come? Oh? If I were a Grey Warden, little brother, I'd have my eye on you. Not that father would ever allow it. Word from the south is that the battles have gone well. There's no evidence that this is a true blight, just a large raid.
Could that be true?
I'll see for myself soon enough. Pray for me, love, and I'll be back within a month or two. Then the Isle's men are delayed. You'd think his men were all walking backwards. Well, I'd better get underway. So many darkspawn to behead, so little time. Off we go then. I'll see you soon, my love.
I would hope, dear boy, that you plan to wait for us before taking your leave.
Be well, my son. I will pray for your safety every day you are gone.
I keep telling you, no darkspawn will ever best me.
The Maker sustain and preserve us all. Watch over our sons, husbands and fathers, and bring them safely back to us.
And bring us some ale and wenches while you're at it. For the men, of course.
Fergus, you would say this in front of your mother?
What's a wench? Is that what you pull on to get the bucket out of the well?
A wench is a woman that pours the ale in a tavern, Oren. Or a woman who drinks a lot of ale.
Bryce, Maker's breath. I swear it's like living with a pack of small boys.
I'll miss you, mother dear. You'll take care of her, brother, won't you?
Oh, good. How thrilling to know I'm so well taken care of.
Enough, enough. Pup, you'll want to get an early night. You've much to do tomorrow.
Mama says you're going to be watching over us while Papa is gone. Is that true, Uncle? What if the castle is attacked? Will there be dragons?
Dragons are terrible creatures, Oren. They eat people.
Yeah, I want to see one.
This is your influence, Fergus.
What? I didn't say anything.
Are you going to teach me to use a sword, Uncle? Then I can fight evil too. Take that, dire bunny. All darkspawn, fear my sword of truthiness.
We're teaching him about honesty.
Don't worry, son. You'll get to see a sword up close real soon. I promise.
If you should need any assistance in the coming days, I would be glad to offer it.
Getting sent to bed early, are we? A warm bed doesn't sound so bad now, come to think of it. At any rate, I'll miss you. Take care of everyone, and be here when I get back.
Best do as your father says, darling. I will see you in the morning, bright and early.
You should be on your way, pup. Long day ahead tomorrow. Ah, I was wondering how long this would take. Has he asked to recruit you? If a blight is truly upon us in the south, then Grey Wardens will be needed. There is no higher calling. If it comes to that, we can talk about it when I get back. Until then, just show him every courtesy. Duncan is a fine man. And a hero. Your brother and I go into battle, not an afternoon tea. Who knows what will happen to us? I will tell you, however, you're my cherished son. I love you. And I trust you completely to carry on the Kuzlin name if the worst should happen. But don't worry about me, dear boy. You'll have enough to occupy your mind while I'm gone. When the king demands it. In fact, not sending our forces south would be a distinctly bad idea. Don't worry, pup. You shouldn't see many problems, but I want you to prepare the men left here, in case. Legends of the Blights tell of horrible things. These darkspawn once threatened many lands. If we can't hold them, you must prepare for the worst. I know you will. You are a Kuzland, after all. But let's not speak of ominous things. We shall assume that all will go well, and the Maker will watch over us. I know that you'll do me proud. You've grown into a fine lad. That much is clear.
Your hound is making so much noise. He seems so angry. I thought I heard yelling when I woke up, but now I hear nothing. I'm gonna see if someone's in the hall.
Yes.
And I'm off. Take that! I want a word with you. Get him!
All right.
How amusing. And I'm off.
What was that?
Too fast for you!
You'll bleed for this.
Yes.
Now, let's see. Which one first?
Tell us! Going.
Dog dropping! I'm off!
Darling, I heard fighting outside and I feared the worst. Are you hurt? They never got through the door, thanks to you. Her scream woke me up. There were men in the hall, so I barred the door. Did you see their shields? Those are Hal's men. Why would they attack us? You don't think Hal's men were delayed? On purpose? That bastard. I'll cut his lying throat myself. Have you seen your father? He never came to bed. We must find him. And trust his mercy. What if the soldiers went into your brother's room first? Let's check on them quickly. Then we'll look for Bryce downstairs. Some of your father's belongings in. No! My little Oren! What manner of fiend slaughters innocents? How is not even taking hostages? He means to kill all of us. Oh, poor Fergus. Let's go, I don't want to see this.
Let's wipe them out quickly. All right.
What is it? If that is what you wish. Right away.
Greetings.
If that is what you wish.
Here I am. Let's get to it. Oh, look!
I'm gonna rescue a new one.
Where do I go? Going.
There is hope yet. Oh, dear Landra. I'm so sorry. If she hadn't come to me, if she hadn't been here. Can you hear the fighting? Hal's men must be everywhere. The front gates. That's where your father must be. Listen, darling. We haven't much time. If we can't find your father, you must get out of here alive. Without you and Fergus, the entire Kusen line dies here. If Hal's men are inside, they must already control the castle. We must use the servants' entry in the larder to escape. Do you hear me? Then let us be swift.
The castle has fallen! I'm getting out of here! Yes, my lord! Here they come!
Ha! Let's wipe them out quickly. Yes.
Right away, if that is what you wish. What a little boy you are! I'll go. Right away.
We're under attack!
I will drive you from our land myself!
Yes. Yes, where are you going?
Yeah. And I'm off. Blast you!
All right. And I'm off. Going. All right. Yes. And I'm off. All right. And I'm off.
Nice little thief.
Oh. Yes.
Oh, no one needs this.
And I'm off. Oh, you so much better than that. And I'm off. My work. Not enough.
Farewell to you. Over here.
Not happening. Are you daft?
We're getting close to the treasury. The Kuzlan family blade lies inside. Here, darling, take my key. That blade cannot fall into Hao's hands. It should sever his treacherous head.
say to you? Stop! That's funny. Ball blast you! Ha!
Make a guide, my hand.
Yes.
Hal will pay for what he's done.
Time for more practice.
I'm busy at the moment. I'll go. Right away.
Now let's see, which one first? You're dead! And I'm off. Going. Yes. If you insist. All right. That should do it.
And that!
Go, man the gate. Keep those bastards out as long as you can. Your ladyship, my lord, you're both alive. I was certain Hal's men had gotten through. When I realized what was happening, it was all I could do to shut the gates. But they won't keep Hal's men out long. If you've another way out of the castle, use it quickly. I've no idea. You don't think he's involved in this, do you?
Perhaps he was sent to kill Bryce? Oh dear. Have you seen him?
When I last saw the Turn, he'd been badly wounded. I urged him not to go, but he was determined to find you. He went towards the kitchen. I believe he thought to find you at the servants' exit in the larder.
Bless you, Sir Gilmore. Make her watch over you.
Make her watch over us all.
Let's wipe them out quickly. Yeah. Going. Yes. Oh, blast you!
We must get out. They're slaughtering
Make her
everyone.
help us all. We're gonna die.
Light is little thief. Farewell to you. All right. Run you through. All right. Yes. Little thief.
need to have a word with you.
Going.
That's funny.
The Coot Heralds are like you!
Bull, blast you!
What do you want? Yes. Going.
Hang on.
Yes. Huh. All right. All right. Yes.
Hang on. Bull, blast you!
Huh.
Right!
No grief for this.
Yes. All right.
There is hope yet.
There, you both are. I was
Bryce!
wondering when you would get here.
Maker's blood, what's happening? You're bleeding.
Hal's men found me first. Almost did me in right there. You can't get away with this. The king will...
Bryce, we must get you out of here.
I won't survive the standing, I think. My boy. If only Will can make it so.
Once Hal's men break through the gate, they will find us. We must go.
Someone must reach Fergus. Tell him what has happened. I wish I could go. Oh.
Bryce, no. The servants' passage is right here. We can flee together, find you healing magic.
The castle is surrounded. I cannot make it.
I'm afraid the turn is correct. Howe's men have not yet discovered this exit, but they surround the castle. Getting past will be difficult.
You are Duncan, then? The Grey Warden?
Yes, your ladyship. The turn and I tried to reach you sooner.
My youngest son helped me get here. Maker be praised.
I am not surprised.
Whatever is to be done now, it must be quick. They are coming.
Duncan, you are under no obligation to me. But I beg you, take my wife and son to safety.
I will, your lordship, but I fear I must ask for something in return.
Anything.
What is happening here pales in comparison to the evil now loose in this world. I came to your castle seeking a recruit. The Darkspawn threat demands that I leave with one.
I understand.
You fought your way to me through Hal's men. I think the Maker's intention is clear. I will take the Tyrna and your son to Ostagar to tell Fergus and the king what happened. Then, your son joins the Grey Wardens.
So long as justice comes to Hal. I agree.
Then I offer you a place within the Grey Wardens. Fight with us. We must leave quickly then.
Bryce, are you sure?
Our son will not die of Hal's treachery. He will live and make his mark on the world.
Darling, go with Duncan. You have a better chance to escape without me.
Eleanor.
Hush, Bryce. I'll kill every bastard that comes through that door to buy them time. But I won't abandon you. My place is with your father. At his side to death and beyond.
I'm so sorry it's come to this, my love.
We had a good life and did all we could. It's up to our children now.
Then go, pup. Warn your brother. Know that we love you both. You do us proud.
They've broken through the gates. We must go now.
Goodbye, darling.
We will be traveling south through the hinterlands to the ruin of Ostagar, on the edges of the Korkari Wilds. The Tevinter Imperium built Ostagar long ago to prevent the Wilders from invading the northern lowlands. It's fitting we make our stand here, even if we face a different foe within that forest. The King's forces have clashed with the Darkspawn several times, but here is where the bulk of the Horde will show itself. There are only a few Grey Wardens within Ferelden at the moment, but all of us are here. This blight must be stopped, here and now. If it spreads to the north, Ferelden will fall.
Ho there, Duncan.
King Cailan. I didn't expect
a royal welcome? I was beginning to worry you'd miss all the fun.
Not if I could help it, Your Majesty.
Then I'll have the mighty Duncan at my side in battle after all. Glorious. The other wardens told me you'd found a promising recruit. I take it this is he?
Allow me to introduce you, Your Majesty.
No need, Duncan. You are Bryce's youngest, are you not? I don't think we've ever actually met. Your brother has already arrived with High Ever's men, but we are still awaiting your father. News from the north has been unreliable. What's happened?
Terran Cousland and his wife are dead, Your Majesty. Arl Howe has shown himself a traitor and overtaken High Ever Castle. Had we not escaped, he would have killed us and told you any story he wished.
I can scarcely believe it. Well, how could he think he could get away with such treachery? As soon as we are done here, I will turn my army north and bring Howe to justice. You have my word. No doubt you wish to see your brother. Unfortunately, he and his men are scouting in the wilds. We are all in danger, my friend. Nothing can be done until your brother returns, and that will not be until the battle is over. I apologize, but there's nothing more I can do. All I can suggest is that you vent your grief against the Darkspawn for the time being. I'm sorry to cut this short, but I should return to my tent. Loghain waits eagerly to bore me with his strategies.
Your uncle sends his greetings and reminds you that Redcliffe forces could be here in less than a week.
Ha! Eamon just wants in on the glory. We've won 3 battles against these monsters, and tomorrow should be no different. I'm not even sure this is a true blight. There are plenty of darkspawn on the field, but alas, we've seen no sign of an archdemon.
Disappointed, Your Majesty?
I'd hoped for a war like in the tales. A king riding with the fabled Grey Wardens against a tainted god. But I suppose this will have to do. I must go before Loghain sends out a search party. Farewell, Grey Wardens.
What the king said is true. They've won several battles against the Darkspawn here. Despite the victories so far, the Darkspawn horde grows larger with each passing day. By now, they look to outnumber us. I know there is an archdemon behind this, but I cannot ask the king to act solely on my feeling. Absolutely. We sent a call to the Grey Wardens of Orlais, and hope they will reach us before the archdemon does. Our numbers in Ferelden are too few. We must do what we can, and look to Teyrn Loghain to make up the difference. To that end, we should proceed with the joining ritual without delay. Every recruit must go through a secret ritual we call the joining, in order to become a Grey Warden. The ritual is brief, but some preparation is required. We must begin soon. The joining is dangerous. I cannot speak more of it except to say that you will learn all in good time. Until then, you must trust that what is done is necessary. No, there are 2 other recruits here already. They have been waiting for us to arrive. Feel free to explore the camp here as you wish. All I ask is that you do not leave it for the time being. There is another Grey Warden in the camp by the name of Alistair. When you're ready, seek him out and tell him it's time to summon the other recruits. Your hound can stay with me while I attend to some business. The Grey Warden tent is on the other side of this bridge. You will find us there should you need to.